You know that feeling when your mind just won't slow down, like you're lying in bed exhausted, but your brain decides it's the perfect time to replay every awkward moment from 5th grade and then spiral into tomorrow's to-do list? Yep, stress is wild like that. And the worst part? It sneaks in quietly. You think you're fine, until suddenly your shoulders are tense, your jaws clenched, and you're wondering why you feel like you're carrying a backpack full of bricks and you didn't even leave the house. I've been there. Honestly, I still go there sometimes, and it's not always the big stuff that breaks us. It's the constant, tiny, little pressures, like emails that never stop, or trying to be everything for everyone, or just existing in a world that never lets you breathe. But here's the thing that changed everything for me. Stress doesn't always need a huge solution. Sometimes it's the smallest changes that make the biggest difference. Today, I want to share 8 little habits, tiny shifts you can make in your day that have seriously helped me reduce stress and feel more grounded. No life overhaul needed, no fancy tools, just practical human stuff that works. These aren't hacks. They're not magic. They're gentle things you might already know, but maybe just need a reminder to actually do even one of. These habits, done consistently, can start to clear the mental fog and make you feel just a little more in control of your world. So if you're tired of feeling like your brain is stuck in overdrive, you're in the right place. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you liked the video, so you can help me continue spreading knowledge. If you haven't subscribed yet, I highly recommend you do so and activate the bell so you don't miss any future videos on Stoicism and self-improvement. All right. Let's take a deep breath. Together, inhale and exhale. Good. Let's talk about the first little habit that can help you feel less stressed and more you again. Habit number 1, morning no phone ritual. Let me ask you something. What's the first thing you reach for when you wake up? Be honest. If it's your phone, you're not alone. Most of us start the day with a screen in our face. Notifications, buzzing, emails waiting, and a flood of messages that instantly pull us out of ourselves and into stress. Before we've even taken a breath, we're already reacting. It's like walking straight into a crowd of people yelling at you, and all you did was open your eyes. I used to do this every morning. Wake up, grab the phone, scroll Instagram half asleep, check my inbox, and somehow feel already behind by 8 a.m. It set the tone for my whole day, rushed, overwhelmed, scattered. But here's what changed things for me. I started leaving my phone on airplane mode until I was fully awake and present. And during those first 10 to 15 minutes, I did something really simple. I stretched, I made my bed, I sipped water. Sometimes I just stared out the window and watched the trees move in the wind. And you know what? It changed everything, because that quiet time, those few screen-free minutes, gave my mind space to wake up gently. It felt like I was protecting my peace instead of handing it over to the internet. If this sounds hard, it is at first. Your fingers will itch to grab the phone. Your brain will tell you there's something urgent, but 99% of the time, there isn't. And if something really important is happening, trust me, someone will call. This habit is small, but powerful. It says, I choose me, before I let the world in, and it creates a ripple effect. You're calmer, you're more intentional, you respond better to stress, because you didn't start your day in a panic spiral. Start with just 5 minutes. You don't have to meditate or journal if that feels like too much. Just exist, sit, Breathe. Let your mind catch up to your body. You deserve a gentle start. And here's a little secret. Those emails and DMs, they'll still be there 10 minutes later, but your peace of mind, that fades fast if you don't guard it. Tell me in the comments, what's the first thing you usually do after waking up? And be honest, are you willing to try one phone-free morning tomorrow? Habit number 2, daily 10-minute walk without music. Let's talk about something deceptively simple. Walking. Now, before your brain goes, okay, yeah, I walk sometimes, let me clarify, I'm talking about a daily, silent, 10-minute walk. No phone, no music, no podcast, just you, your footsteps, the air, and the real world around you. At first, it'll feel weird. I mean, we're so used to distracting ourselves. We treat silence like it's awkward background noise. We need to drown out, but when you remove the noise, something surprising happens. You start hearing things again. Not just the birds or the breeze, but your own thoughts. I remember the first time I did this. I walked around the block with nothing in my ears, and my brain was loud. I noticed how tight my jaw felt. I heard myself worrying about some text I forgot to reply to. I even realized I hadn't really looked at the trees on my street in months. These 10 minutes gave me a strange gift, self-awareness, and even better, a break from information overload. This kind of walk isn't about exercise, it's about mental decluttering. It's a chance to reset your nervous system. Let your thoughts untangle themselves, and maybe even notice something beautiful you've been walking past for years. Try it once, even if you feel awkward or restless at first. Just walk, breathe, let your senses wake up, and don't be surprised if it becomes your favorite part of the day. Tell me in the comments, when was the last time you walked with zero distractions? Habit number 3, stress dump on paper. You know those nights where you're tired, but your brain's having a full-blown staff meeting. Yeah, I know them too. That's where this next habit comes in. I call it the stress dump. Here's how it works. Every night, just before bed, you grab a notebook or even a scrap of paper, and for 5 minutes, you write down everything that's swirling in your head. No structure, no grammar rules, no judgment. Just get it out. Things like, forgot to reply to Sarah, need to schedule dentist appointment. Why did that conversation with my boss feel so weird? I'm still annoyed about what Dad said at dinner. Write it, all of it. You don't need solutions, you just need release. Because when we hold it all in, our stress multiplies. It grows legs and runs circles in our minds. But once it's on paper, it loses power. It's no longer bouncing off the walls in your brain. This habit helped me sleep better, like deeply better. I didn't realize how much mental noise I was dragging into bed with me every night, even on days where nothing big happened. Just the act of emptying my head made me feel clearer and lighter. Here's a little twist. Sometimes I tear the page up after. It's symbolic, like, I've released this. It's not mine to carry tonight. Don't overthink it. Don't judge what comes out. Just write it down and let it go. Have you ever tried writing your thoughts out at night? If not, would you try it for 1 week? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious how it works for you. Habit number 4, 1 no per day. Okay, this one might feel uncomfortable at first, but it's powerful. Start practicing the habit of saying just one small no every day. Not a dramatic slam the door kind of no. I'm talking about boundaries. Protecting your time. Choosing you over guilt-driven people-pleasing. It could be as small as, sorry, I can't stay late today. I'm not available this weekend. No thanks, I don't want to go out tonight. The reason this matters for stress? Because most of us, especially the kind-hearted, overthinking type, carry the weight of other people's expectations. We say yes out of fear. Fear of being rude, fear of missing out, fear of disappointing someone. But every unnecessary yes is a no to your peace, and over time, all those little yeses start to drain us. One no a day might sound small, but it's practice. It builds the muscle of self-respect. I used to struggle with this so badly. I'd double-book myself, say yes to every favor, and then silently resent the stress I chose. Then I started this habit. Just once a day, I gave myself permission to say no, and you know what? No one exploded, no one disowned me. The world kept turning, and I felt lighter. Saying no doesn't make you selfish. It makes you sane. And here's a powerful reminder. If someone gets upset because you have boundaries, that's not your stress to carry. I know it's hard, but try it just once tomorrow. Find one small moment and choose your peace. You might feel awkward at first, but over time, you'll feel free. Tell me in the comments, what's something you wish you had said no to this week? Habit number 5, a breathing habit tied to a trigger. Let's talk about breathing. Yeah, I know, sounds obvious. You're doing it right now, right? But here's the twist. Most of us aren't breathing well. We hold our breath without realizing it, or take these shallow little sips of air, especially when we're anxious or focused. Now, I'm not asking you to become a monk or learn fancy breathing techniques. I'm asking you to do one simple thing. Choose one trigger in your day and pair it with one deep breath. That's it. Here's how it looks in real life. Every time you sit down at your desk, one deep breath. Every time you open your laptop, one deep breath. Every time you get into your car, before the engine starts, one deep breath. I started doing this with my coffee. First sip, deep breath first. That became my thing, and something shifted. It's like my body started to remember. Oh, right. We don't have to be in fight or flight mode all the time. That one tiny pause, it's your nervous system saying, hey, we're okay. And if you make it a habit, tied to something that already happens in your day, it doesn't feel forced. You don't have to remember to breathe. Your routine reminds you. There was this one day, total chaos, back-to-back meetings, noise in my head. But I opened my car door, sat down, and that one deep breath came like a reflex. It didn't fix everything, but for a moment, it helped me reclaim myself. You can inhale through your nose, exhale slowly through your mouth. Try it now if you want. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Notice how even one breath feels like hitting refresh on your system. It's not about perfection. It's about creating these little micro moments of peace. We don't always have time to meditate, but we always have time to breathe. And trust me, when you start doing it regularly, you'll catch yourself craving that breath. It becomes your anchor. So here's your mission. Choose your trigger. It could be your morning tea, locking your phone, brushing your teeth, anything. Just pair it with one calm, conscious breath. Tell me in the comments, what trigger would you pick for your breath habit? Habit number 6, disconnect hour at night. Let's be honest. Nights are when we fall apart. You've made it through the whole day, and then somehow, the moment your head hits the pillow, boom, your brain lights up like Times Square. And most of the time it's because we never actually turned off. We closed the laptop, but then opened TikTok. We shut the TV, but then scrolled Instagram for 45 minutes while lying in bed sideways with one eye open. Yeah. You know the position. This next habit is a game changer, and it's called the disconnect hour. 1 hour before you go to bed. No screens, no phone, no scrolling, nothing with a blue light or notification pinging at your peace. I know, that sounds radical, but hear me out. When we stay connected to the world until the very last minute, our brain doesn't get a chance to unwind. Our nervous system stays lit up. We're stimulated, we're comparing, we're reading news, watching arguments, consuming more noise, and then we wonder why sleep feels like a fight. But when you disconnect, truly unplug, for just 1 hour, your whole system starts to relax. Your thoughts soften, your body follows, and that hour doesn't need to be productive. You don't have to read Tolstoy or journal 10 pages. You can stretch, light a candle, listen to calming music, lay on the floor, just be. I personally started this habit with dim lighting and stretching. My back out on a yoga mat, no pressure. Just breathing and letting the day leave me, and suddenly bedtime stopped feeling like a battle. Your brain isn't a light switch. It can't go from 100 to 0 instantly. It needs a dimmer. And that's what this hour is. It's the space between the noise and the peace. You deserve that space. Start small if you want. Even 30 minutes of no screen time can help. But once you try the full hour, you might never go back. Tell me in the comments, what would you do in your screen-free hour? Before bed. Habit number 7, 3-minute gratitude check-in. All right, real talk. Gratitude gets tossed around a lot. Be grateful. Write what you're thankful for. Gratitude journal every day or else. And yeah, it can feel kind of forced, right? But this next habit, it's different. Because it's gentle. It's not about writing a novel or forcing yourself to be grateful for world peace while your life feels like a mess. It's called the 3-minute gratitude check-in. And it's exactly what it sounds like. Just take 3 quiet minutes, any time in your day, and ask yourself, what didn't suck today? That's it. What didn't suck? It could be, someone held the door open for me. My coffee was actually hot. My friend texted something funny. I didn't cry in traffic. We're not looking for fireworks. We're looking for flickers. Tiny sparks of okayness, because the human brain is wired to focus on what's wrong. It's a survival mechanism, but if we don't balance it with even the smallest sense of what's right, stress takes over. I used to do this in the shower. No journal, just me thinking, all right, what 3 things didn't suck today? Some days it was easy, some days I had to dig. But even on the roughest days, I found something. And that tiny shift, it pulled me out of my spiral. It reminded me that life isn't all chaos. There's still beauty, even if it's quiet. And no, this doesn't mean pretending everything's fine. It just means allowing both things to exist, pain and peace. This habit doesn't solve your problems, but it gives you a moment of perspective. A tiny sliver of light, and sometimes that's enough. Try it tonight. Sit for 3 minutes. And ask yourself, what didn't suck today? Write it, think it, whisper it, whatever works, and tell me in the comments. What's one tiny thing that didn't suck for you today? Habit number 8. Practice saying it's not mine to carry. Let me ask you something. How much of what's stressing you out is actually yours? Because if you're anything like me, or like so many of us who feel things deeply, chances are you're carrying more than you realize. Other people's moods, their problems, their expectations, even their silence, and without meaning to, you start absorbing it all. You walk into a room and sense tension, and suddenly your chest feels tight. Someone texts you, "We need to talk," and your stomach flips, even if you did nothing wrong. This habit is about learning to pause and say, this isn't mine to carry. You can care about someone without carrying their weight. You can be kind without becoming a container for other people's chaos. It took me years to learn this. I used to take everything personally. If someone was cold, I thought it was my fault. If someone was struggling, I made it my responsibility, and little by little, I burned out. Then one day, during a moment of total emotional overload, I said it out loud. "This isn't mine to carry," and I felt something shift. I said it again and again. Now, it's a habit. When I notice I'm overthinking a conversation that wasn't even that deep, when I feel heavy after a phone call that drained me, when I catch myself spiraling over someone else's bad mood, I stop. I breathe and I say, "This isn't mine to carry," and the peace that follows is real. This habit won't make you cold. It'll make you clear, because stress doesn't just come from doing too much. It comes from holding too much. And maybe, just maybe, it's time to put some of that down. Tell me in the comments, what's one thing you've been carrying lately that doesn't actually belong to you? And now, let's take one last breath together. Inhale, hold it, and exhale. You just went through 8 simple, powerful habits that can help reduce your stress, not by changing your whole life overnight, but by changing how you move through it. You don't have to do them all at once. You don't even have to be perfect. Start small. Start with the one that whispered to you the loudest today. Stress isn't always something you can eliminate, but it is something you can soothe, and you deserve to feel lighter, calmer, and more at peace in your own mind. If you found value in this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, so you never miss future insights on Stoicism and self-improvement. And seriously, let's keep the conversation going. Which of these habits are you going to try first? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. You're doing better than you think. Until next time, breathe easy.